peeling potatoes for steaming. And steaming rather than boiling potatoes keeps the potato drier, which allows the starch to better absorb hot milk when mashed. Steamed vegetables retain much more of the natural sugars, salts, pigments, and vitamins. So we're going to steam these potatoes for a wonderful potato mash. The potatoes can be peeled and put into an ice water bath. And keeping the potatoes in iced water keeps them from turning a sort of grayish purple color. Use for mashed potatoes a good russet potato or a Yukon Gold potato. They are dense potatoes and they have low moisture, which makes the best purees. The potatoes should be cut into 2-inch pieces, and we're going to steam them in that nice little steamer basket. Notice how I'm trying to cut the potatoes into uniform sizes so that they will steam evenly. Steaming takes a little bit longer, but that's okay because what you're left with is a vegetable with more color, more texture, more vitamins, more minerals. You can do all the cutting up and keeping the potatoes in ice water if you want to ahead of time. Now turn the heat up to high, cover the pot. There's a little salt in the water for the steaming. And bring that to a boil, and you steam until tender. Generally, potatoes of that size take 20 to 30 minutes to cook to a soft stage that will make the best puree. Now, we are going to make what's called an infusion. 3/4 cup of heavy cream, not for anybody on a diet. I'm using about 2 tablespoons of rosemary leaves and 2 cloves of garlic. You just simmer it for about a half an hour. Now I want to show you different ways to mash. This is an old-fashioned ricer. This little contraption has a removable bottom so you can do a fine rice or a coarser rice with this. And you put the potato in here. This metal press fits down over the potato and you push, and out comes little particles that look like rice, and thus the name ricer. This has been greatly improved, first to something that looks like this, easier to push a lot of potatoes through. This only has 2 surfaces of holes, not adjustable, and you push this way and you get potato coming out both sides. And the most elaborate of all the ricers that we have is this big guy. And this too has holes on the sides as well as on the bottom. And you can put a lot of potatoes in here and push through and get potatoes done very quickly for a big crowd. So those are ricers. Then of course there's the old-fashioned potato masher. You're not going to get the fine puree of potato that you would get with a ricer, but you'll get a nice mashed potato. Another thing that my mom always used is the food mill. Put the cooked vegetable in here and turn. It presses and mushes, and everything comes out the bottom in a very, very beautiful way. Food processors and blenders should be avoided to prevent potatoes from taking on a gluey texture. And I prefer using any one of these. These are done, I think. Look how easily this point of the knife goes right into the potato itself. Perfectly cooked, very nice. So now the cream is infused with rosemary and garlic. Add 1 stick of butter and melt that into the warm cream. And you're ready to start your mashed potatoes. I'm going to turn this on very, very low while I rice the potatoes. Now I'm going to use this medium-sized ricer and just put the cooked potatoes right into it. If you don't have one of these, I'm sure you're going to rush out and get one because it's so easy to watch. See what's coming out? Not a lump in sight. This is such a good device. And use your rubber scraper to scrape off the potato. So just keep pushing through the ricer, all the potatoes. So they're ready to incorporate the strained butter and cream. I'm going to put this through a fine sieve. Oh, does that smell good? Oh boy, really good. So push that through. Really push that garlic, which has gotten nice and soft. Always scrape the bottom of the strainer. Lots of good things there. And then this gets stirred into the potatoes. Now, if you want fine puree, you can put this again through a strainer, but as is a very smooth, lump-free mashed potato. Season with salt, definitely, and freshly ground white pepper. Very nice. So that's method number one, and if you want to try it and use your old potato masher, you can do that too. Doing mashed potatoes this way is certainly a more rustic way, and that looks good too. It looks really good. And if you want to, don't tell anybody, whole stick of butter. We used to add lots and lots of butter at home, and also cream cheese is delicious incorporated into mashed potato. So this looks really good. And just add a little bit of heavy cream. So this looks really good. Don't forget to season with salt and pepper. I love to add a little black pepper to the more rustic potato. So these can be kept over a bain-marie, cover with some plastic wrap, and put over an inch or two of simmering water. You can keep the potatoes that way for quite a long time before serving. So whether you choose a finely flavored puree like this, or a more rustic potato mash like that, I think you'll all agree that by steaming the potatoes rather than boiling them, you've retained a lot more of the potato flavor.